Welcome back to PE class with Mrs. Cox and Mr. Dobson, and of course, Lightning McQueen. Our goals for this week's lesson are to learn 2 new exercises, how to use a pit stop to wake up your mind and your body, learn how to gallop, to have more fun with the underhand toss, and we will read a book about sportsmanship. Today, we will use our Breathe Like a Bear book to learn another pit stop activity. There may be times throughout your day when you wish, I wish I could just go back to bed and get some more sleep. I am so tired. And maybe your eyes are having trouble staying completely open like Lightning McQueen's are here. Well, we have a solution for you. We are going to have fun learning 1, 2, 3, clap. This is a great way to wake up your mind and your body when you're feeling really tired. Getting them ready to wake up, to listen, learn, play, and move your body. Welcome back to PE class, everyone. Today, we are going to start our class by talking a little bit about the pit stop breaks that we began learning last time. So last time we were together, we learned about the flower breath and how we can use this to calm our minds and bodies back down when we're feeling a little wiggly. When it's time to learn, we need to settle back down and really be able to focus. And the flower breath is a great way to do that. So we learned to hold the flower and to take some deep breaths, and then we were ready to move on with our day. But today we're going to start out with a pit stop break. Because many of us sometimes before a Zoom meeting or maybe some other type of learning that you're doing throughout the day, you might think, man, I'm feeling really blah, or I'm feeling really tired. You could also use a pit stop break to give your mind and body some energy and really wake it up. So that's what we're gonna do now. Now remember when we started a pit stop break last week, we said not to lay down. We would like you to sit crisscross applesauce. And I know you can't see my legs now, but I am sitting crisscross applesauce. I'm also sitting up nice and tall, and I'm trying to be calm. I could even close my eyes if I'd like to, but I'm not going to today because I want to wake up, and I'm going to do that with 1, 2, 3, clap, and I'd love it if you join me. So the first thing I'd like you to do is put your arms out really wide, as far as they can go, and now we're going to count together. Will you count with me? 1, 2, 3, and now clap your hands 1 time and get ready to make some energy. So to do that, we're gonna rub our hands together really fast. We are making some energy. 1, 2, 3, stop. And now put your hands on your belly. We're gonna take a deep breath in and let it all the way out. So next, let's do that again. We're gonna put our arms out really wide as they can go. Count with me. 1, 2, 3. Clap your hands 1 time. Now we're gonna make some energy. Rub those hands together. Can you go faster than you did the last time? I know you can. So we're making some energy. 1, 2, 3, stop. And now put your hands on your heart. Take a deep breath in and lift them all the way out. I don't know about you, but I feel like I have lots of energy now and I am ready to move on with this lesson. You could use this pit stop break anytime that you're feeling a little tired and sluggish before it's time to listen too. And I'm happy that we've done this together. And now we can move on with our exercises. So now that we're all feeling as energized as this dog, let's go ahead and get started. We're starting with arm circles. Now make big arm circles the other direction. Now it's time to stretch. Use your fingertips to reach for your knees or your toes. It's time for forwards and backwards jumps. Bend your elbows. Move your feet forwards and backwards. Now it's time for our side-to-side jumps. For scissor jumps, remember to put one foot in the front and one foot in the back. And now let's jump and switch. Jump and switch your feet. And now it's time for little elk crosses. Hold up your hands and remember to reach all the way across to your opposite knee. Hi PVN! Today we're going to teach you how to do another new exercise we're going to add to our routine. And this exercise is called the plank. No, I'm not going to make you walk the plank like I'm a pirate. I'm thinking more about a plank like a wood plank. When we do a plank, we want to try to make our body as straight as this board. So a plank of wood. So I'm going to move this to the side now, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So when we do a plank exercise in PE class, the first thing we're going to ask you to do is to stay on your parking spot, and then we'll ask you to lay down on your belly. I'm going to put my belly button right here on my parking spot like this. So I'm just relaxing now. The exercise hasn't started yet, but let's get ready for it. So first, I'm going to point my toes to the floor, and I'm bending my arms. Do you see the way my elbow is bent? It kind of looks like my arm is in the shape of a big letter L. So each of my arms need to be bent like the letter L, and my toes are touching the ground. Next, I'm going to lift my belly up like this, so it isn't touching the ground. Now the only things that are touching the ground are my forearms and my toes. Everything else is up off of the ground, and I'm trying to hold my body in a nice straight line, just like that wood plank. So that's why we call this exercise the plank. A fun way to remember that we shouldn't let our belly touch the ground when we are doing a plank is to imagine that you have a balloon just like I have here. And as I perform a plank, you can pretend that this balloon is right underneath you. So I'm in my plank position. If my belly touches the ground, what do you think would happen to this balloon? That's right, it would pop. So I'm holding my belly up so that it doesn't pop the balloon. And that's something fun to think about to help remind you to keep your belly off of the ground. So we don't want our bellies to touch the ground because then we're not making a straight line. So I have to pick that up. Remember, we want our body to be straight and flat just like the board. I don't want to put my hiney up in the air. because that's not straight like a board. I need to make sure it's down here. Now it's time to do the plank. Remember to bend your elbows to make the shape of a big letter L with your arms. Point your toes to the ground. Pick that belly up off of the floor and try to make your body as straight as a board. Now try to hold your body in the plank position as long as you can, right along with me. Next, we have another new exercise we'd like to add to our routine. This exercise is called jumping jacks. Before we do the jumping jacks, I'd like you to think about a letter and a number. The letter is the letter X. And the number is the number 1. So when you're doing jumping jacks, you're going to try to make the letter X and the number 1, like this. So I start with my hands at my sides, my feet are together on the floor on my parking spot. And then when it's time, I'm going to jump out to make the letter X. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to jump back. And now my body looks like the number 1. So let's do that together. Ready, set, X1, X1, X1. Jump out together and in together. Out, in, out, in, out, in. X1, X1. And that's the way you do the jumping jack. Now we'll end our exercise routine with the jumping jacks. Remember to jump out to make an X and jump back in to make the number 1. Nice job, little Elks. Now let's do some moving. We are going to need 4 cups or 4 cones. First, let's move back and forth between 2 cups. First, let's start with a jog, along with my son Shane. And you can use those steering wheels if you'd like to get them back out again. Have fun! Now we will need 4 cups to move around the track like Lightning McQueen. Ready, set, go! And you can stop. Nice job! Now let's hang on to those cups for a while because we're going to use them again. But this time, we are going to learn another new movement. It's called the gallop. As you can see here, horses also race around a track just like Lightning McQueen. But instead of running, they gallop. Just like Mr. Dobson and I, this horse is also a fan of Lightning McQueen. And before it starts galloping along in its race, it decided to wear a Lightning McQueen costume. Now it's time to learn a new fun way to move called galloping. So the first thing you're going to do is bend your elbows like this, and then you need to decide which foot will stay in the front and which foot will stay in the back. The foot that stays in the front is pointing in the direction that you're moving, and it will always be in the front. We call this your pony pointer because it's pointing in the direction you're moving. And then as you start to gallop, you take a step first with your pony pointer, and your other foot drags behind a bit, like this. I'm going to bend my elbows. I need to use my arms to help me move along as I gallop. Remember, your pony pointer stays in the front. My other foot has to stay in the back. It will never step in front of the pony pointer. It always stays in the back. And if you need to tap it to your heel a little bit to help you, to remind you of that, that's fine. I'll do that now. Ready, set, go. Now we're going to set up your cuffs just like you do when you're running to do some back and forth galloping. Ready, set, go. And now, just like Lightning McQueen moves around a racetrack, I'm going to gallop around the racetrack just like a horse. So get your pony pointers ready. And also, sometimes I like to give each foot a turn to be the pony pointer. So after each lap, I'm gonna switch my feet, but you can do it however you choose. Ready, set, go. I'm gonna switch my pony pointer. Switch it again. Now we need to get ready to continue to practice the underhand toss that we learned last week. Remember, if you don't have a beanbag at home, please feel free to use a balled up piece of paper, some folded socks, and I even had a PVN student share with me that they enjoyed using tiny stuffed animals. So you can find anything like that from around your house to use as we continue to practice. Remember when Mr. Dobson taught us how to do this last week? Remember to swing your arm, step with the opposite foot, bend, and then toss. Remember, as you toss your beanbag up, it should fall back down, making the shape of a rainbow. Now it's your turn to practice, and as you practice, try using a target of your choice from around the house. Get creative. Now that you've had time to practice the underhand toss, my son Shane and I will show you how to play a game called wall ball. You can play this on your own, or you can ask someone from around your house to join you in a game, but remember your sportsmanship. So to play the game, you need to find something to toss. I'm using some socks. You also need to find a target. In this video, I will use a pot from the kitchen, but you could use a cardboard box, a hamper, a trash can, any type of target that you can toss into will work. We hope you have fun. Enjoy! Now before you start playing, let's watch the video so you know exactly what to do. Once you're done watching the video, you can gather your own equipment and then have fun playing on your own. Hi everybody, today we're going to play a game called wall ball. What you'll need is a clear wall somewhere in your house, and you'll need a bucket or a trash can or a pot that I found out of my kitchen. You'll also need some socks. We have 4 balled up socks. The goal of the game is to be the one to get the most socks into your pot. You have to bank it off of the wall. So now Shane and I are going to give this game a try. I'll go first. I'm going to use my underhand toss. 1. I had 1. Now it's Shane's turn. Come on over, bud. 1. 2, 3. You won, Shane. Good game. Today we are going to read a book written by a past student of ours named Liam. The book is called The Day I Won Second Place in My Soccer Tournament by Liam. I went to the big green field. I was nervous. I saw Coach Kevin and my teammates. There's a red team and a blue team. Liam is on the blue team. They say hello to each other before the game starts. The game gets started. The red team scored first. The red team is saying yay after the goal was scored. After the red team scored, it was halftime. That means both teams take a break. When the game started back up again, the red team scored again. The red team won the game. Liam's team lost. After the soccer game, they went to the other side of the field to stand in a line. They all showed good sportsmanship by saying "good game" to each other. At soccer tournaments, players can earn awards like trophies or medals when they win games. Liam said that when they moved off of the field, there was a big white and black table with trophies on it. Once they were all at the table, it was time for the red team to get their medals. Even though Liam's team lost, he chose to be kind, and he said he was happy for the other team. The red team won. Liam is such a good sport, and I know you can be too. The end. And now it's time to get ready for our do nothing elk pose. Remember to lay down on your back. Get ready to close your eyes. Today's pose will be done with a horse. A horse gets tired too after it spends its day galloping. And maybe you're feeling that way too. So let's get some time to rest before we move on with our day with our do nothing elk pose. See you next time, little elks.